allows us to curate a really cool menu, and we're super proud of it. And I think that speaks to the quality that Mike talked about, and speaks to, you know, kind of just what this brand's become. So yeah, we do cookies. We actually have a few additional partnerships that you'll see coming out in the next few months, with some different brands that we think are accretive and kind of speak to a different segment of the market that may not be aware of the work that we're doing and the products that the garden are putting out, and that we think it's a great way to introduce new people to what we're doing. So it's been a great relationship for us. A lot of work, but it's been a good relationship.
Dude, so I got a question on another type of relationship I noticed when I was looking at y'all's website earlier. What's this going on with Oscar Blues?
Yeah, that's another super cool one. And that's, you know, I think as we see these brands growing, we're just seeing so many cool opportunities, and we love collaborating with other great Colorado brands. So Oscar Blues came about last spring. We took an investment from the founder of Oscar Blues. Dale Cadet just became part of the team, and he's been amazing. You know, as we look at, Mike and I meet with the team and we try and talk about, you know, making some tough decisions and understanding parts of business that we've never dealt with before, and no one in our world's ever dealt with before. And we found a resource in Dale that he's been down a very similar path in the past, and we think that craft beer and craft cannabis are going to probably mature very similarly. So we brought him onto the team. It's been phenomenal having him involved. And since he got involved, we really looked for chances to work with, you know, his brands in ways that we think are meaningful and get expose a little bit of his customer base to us and vice versa. So we have a collaboration coming with him. We're super excited about. We're giving a tour to his head brewer, the head brewer from Oscar Blues, and started talking about terpenes that were found in the strain, because our grow style and strain selection is all based on the terpene content of the flower. Terpenes are also present in hops, and they are actually what provide the flavor for different beers. And so the conversation started about, what would it be like if we created a beer to match one of your strains? Couple weeks later, kind of comes back to the surface, and everyone's really excited about it. Fast forward to where we're at right now, they've actually brewed an IPA that's available in all their tap rooms and restaurants right now, called Project V. It's an IPA that is made to pair with our Slap and Tickle. So if Slap and Tickle's been repackaged in specific Project V packaging right now, and if you go to one of these tap rooms and try that beer, you'll notice similar aromas, similar flavors even. One's nothing but a beer. There's no weed in their beer. Obviously, ours is only weed. But you start to see the similarities, and we think it's really cool. And if you start thinking of the story of these plants and how it's connected to other parts of our world, we just think that opens it up to a broader market. So we're very excited about it. They're actually planning on rolling that beer out nationwide this spring. So we're super pumped. I mean, you're gonna get to see our logo on cans of beer across the country, and all used to tell the story about cannabis and how it's interconnected to beer, and some really great beers. And I think that just kind of helps to continue the conversation, you know?
That's awesome. That's a killer collab, or not even a collab, but like using your, you know, reaching new markets. And I know that I've spoken with folks that have kind of dipped their toe into that pod, but, you know, talking about this, and then you mentioned you had 120 plus genetics, you know, in the warehouses here in Denver. I mean, y'all have got to be popping seeds like every fucking hour. Y'all are doing pheno hunts over there. How are we coming up with these? I remember asking you about who has the dumbest name for this weed and who comes up with it. We've got a new contender, but how are we, you know, what are these phenos? What are we crossing over here that y'all are doing over at this shop that gives you all these opportunities and different kind of vibes?
You don't like Slap and Tickle?
No, I fucking think that one's actually so much better than Gary Payton. But if it had been Sean Kemp, I'd have been all over it as a Supersonic fan in the 90s. But no, Slap and Tickle's an interesting one. It makes me think there's a unicorn on the front of it.
We know, but we do have one called Unicorn Poop. So
that's the one. Okay, that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm not far removed, but I think that was a well-developed question the first time I asked. This one's more based off of, I guess, terpene profiles, flavor profiles, and I guess, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough challenge, right? We want to manage the menu. We want to keep unique stuff going on. We're very fortunate. We work with some phenomenal breeders, and we'll actually be launching a new project pretty soon.
Bob Baffert.
That is. Yeah, right. That's not yet. We're waiting for that call though. We're launching a product that we're going to start calling out the breeders on our labels as well, because they're an important part of this value chain. We're going to start calling out the pheno hunters because we think that's an equally important part of the value chain. People are doing lots of great work. We've actually just kicked off a breeding project at one of our facilities. So we will, some point down the road, call it another year and a half, 2 years, start introducing our own line of genetics. And what we've learned through this, I mean, when we first met you, I think we were just contemplating the first pheno hunt, and we've now done a few of them. And we try, and every activation, we try and get a lot of feedback from the customer. What's cool, and we don't want to do things just to do them. We want to involve people in a way that tells the story and gets them activated and engage with the brand. And we've learned that people are really interested in this process. We've got a box coming. It's a ton of fun. I mean, like the science that's in there, it's crazy. We'll pheno out a new strain and we'll do terp tests on every pheno, and the results are wildly different, which makes perfect sense because you have kids. One's good at one thing and terrible at the next, and the next kid is vice versa, right? But they have the same genetics and it's the same thing. So it's really cool to see people like starting to understand that and care. We think we found a great way to kind of like put it all together so that people can experience it. And we found that just by just telling the story of what's going on. That's it. There's no sugarcoating. We tell the pretty side, we tell the ugly side, and just like this is how it works. And people seem to appreciate that. It's been a super fun journey for us. We have a new pheno box coming down, and I'm so excited. It's a lineage box. So we actually flowered out at the same time the two parent strains and also the cross that we made with them. So it's a total of 3 strains. You get mom, dad, and the kid. You get to try them all. I mean, I think it's just super cool. And these ideas are coming from everywhere. I mean, that idea came from the garden. Some ideas come out of the marketing side. Some ideas come out of like customer feedback on Instagram. Like we get it from everywhere. I think that we're creating so much content. We take the approach that every idea is worth considering. So it makes it a lot of fun, man. We're having a blast.
Dude, it sounds like y'all got a lot of shit going on. This is fantastic. I love to hear this.
Yeah.
We're go ahead. No, I just say we're fortunate, man. We're very fortunate. We've been very lucky that the market's responded well, and it really comes back to that. Like it's people participating with our stuff gives us the confidence to do more, and we've been really lucky that the team we've put together is so creative and so engaged, and they just put the work in, man. They put a lot of work in. It's really fun to be a part of.
Well, I mean, I feel like I haven't heard of many other brands out there that are reaching out for this type of engagement. Like, I think as the cannabis industry moves forward, having that, like you mentioned, like putting the breeder on the label, doing things. I think
that's a great idea,
like
Chris.
That's really fucking cool, because you can reach out and get more information other than just relying on, let's say, like the bud tender, because no other brand has information available really like that.
Well, and it's very similar. You guys talk about great restaurants all the time. And, and I come from the hospitality side of things, and I come from the restaurant world. And one of the most important pieces to the end result is all the ingredients that go into it. And there's been this great movement, and restaurants are recognizing the farms they get their fruit from. And I think it's become such an important part of our consciousness there. And I think it's the same thing. Like, it's just every part of this chain is incredibly important. And any one part of it could mess it up for the rest of us. So those that have really put the energy and work should be out there. And that just creates accountability. At the end of the day, I still believe that the person who wins the most in all this is the consumer.
No, I agree too, because everybody asks, like we see it now in our nutrition labels as well. Like, you see where things come from, you see what's in it. But it's also not necessarily accountability, but it's praise. It's like, this guy or this girl worked their ass off and produced dank weed, and now we're selling it in droves. Like, give them credit where credit's due. It's not like you're ever taking something to market that's buster, or y'all are usually not taking things to market that are buster. So it's not like it's an accountability thing. It's more of a like, who do I follow on Instagram? It's
Absolutely.
Like loving in her eyes. She kills it. She kills it. And so, like, if you knew that she was selling this out of a specific jar, or, you find a grower that you like at a specific brand and they go with a second strain, you're probably going to follow that grower. That's a fantastic idea. I mean, yeah, you can call it accountability, but I think it's credit where credit's due. That's awesome.
For sure. Well, it's accountability. It's also credit, and I think it comes down to both. And, it's funny that when we first started, I give so much credit to Mike because he really believed in a
He's
lot of
not
this
on
crazy.
here anymore. You don't have to suck
I know
up.
that's the last nice thing I'll actually say about him. But a long time ago when he was growing this amazing weed, and I was new to the weed world, but I came from beverage, and I was so surprised by the lack of brands in cannabis. And we talked about it, and he believed in a lot of the stuff we were pitching, and seriously invested in things that other people didn't do back then: logo, branding, in-house sales team, in-house marketing team. And the net result of that is that we are actually able to support these products now. And so it's like, there's so many parts of the value chain that we can now give, spread awareness. And we've got this amazing platform. These breeders that are doing phenomenal work, we want to recognize them. So they continue to do more great work and give us more great cuts, and just the change just keeps continuing, So it's good. We're excited. It's so much fun. Everything we're doing is a blast. Too much going on sometimes, but so much a blast.
When people say work is a blast, Chris, we know that they're blowing smoke up our ass. We got to really dig deep here, find out what's going on at the Veritas shop.
Mike and I are such dorks. We kid around that like we're at a spot in our lives sometimes on Sunday afternoon. We'll like text them and it'll be like, how much longer till we go back to the office? Because I'm ready to go back and get to work again. So we're having a blast with it right now.
I think that's probably part because y'all have like 70 kids between the two of y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You got somewhere quiet and stocked with weed.
Yeah. And so I guess that's a perfect time to shift into this. Obviously marijuana saw a big boom during COVID. Since we last saw y'all decided to move closer to the city. Thank God. And y'all have a new office. Tell us a little bit about the company vibe over there at Veritas right now. Y'all buzzing on all cylinders?
We're buzzing on all cylinders. We're trying to build a team for the future. And I think everything that we're doing, we're trying to start attracting people who look at this as a career as opposed to a job, and who want to get involved in building what we're building. And so one of the perks we wanted to have is we wanted to be able to have weed available in our office to sample, try new things coming out of the garden, share with influencers. If you guys had wanted to come and hang out with us in person, we would have happily rolled a joint over this interview. And, I think that that's an important part of what we're doing. We're proud of what we're doing. We're proud of what we're putting out. And so we've created an environment where, if the work's getting done, we let people consume cannabis. It's a private environment, and it's become a great perk. It's become something that I think we would have a revolt if we took it away in a way that we probably wouldn't have if we took away the health insurance. I think they care more about their weed benefits, but if they work in an unlicensed facility, then that's a great opportunity. So we've got an office. We're proud of the products we put out. We hold ourselves accountable. We taste them all. It's an important part of the QC process, man.
Right now, at that office, I can't work on the grounds with the.
Unfortunately, that's anywhere this license doesn't work that way. So it's only at the office.
Okay, well, that's a great call. That's not a bad, and
we're looking for models for our new merch thing. You can come in, you can be our brand ambassador. You're a handsome gentleman.
Are y'all looking for scrawny, pale men? Because that's me.
It's the hardest thing to find is a scrawny, pale man. We find
especially in Denver, where everyone like works out and does outdoor shit. You just need a good bar dweller that has no tan, very few outdoor exposure. And I've got modeling experience. Jon, sign me up, my friend.
I didn't realize that we were going to meet that need. I'm going to check that off and stop working for the day. Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
I'm strictly hand model. So if you need some hands and some photos.
Sadly enough, I'm also primarily a hand model. People have used my hand in gift card presentation ads before.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The face doesn't make as many cuts.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a really good question, but I fucking lost it because I was talking about, God damn it. We got to get back on track here. Oh, wait, no, I know what it is now. Jon, yeah, we definitely wanted to do this live, but had we done that, your nanny would have been screwed. You realize
she would have been screwed. I know.
You have been talking to us from the car. So, while the Tesla is pretty, it would have been different. Yeah. What if you had just left us the keys? That wouldn't have gone well.
You guys are always welcome. I trust you. You can hold up there. Really all it's going to have to just smoke yourself into ordering a bunch of pizzas. So.
Well, luckily enough, you are right there next to Stanley Marketplace. So some of our favorites, Caroline Glover's Annette, Killer Happy Hour, fantastic dinner menu. And our friends, I think Rolling Smokes over there, Kamita. I just did a cooking class over there, dude. It was awesome. Sorry, we plug everything on this podcast.
No, they're fantastic. You got to add chook to that as well. I order chook